Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to look at the NoSQL based database called MongoDB. In MongoDB, the records will be stored in as collection rather than as tables in an SQL database. MongoDB can be used either in the cloud or can be downloaded and used in the system. This video will be looking at using MongoDB in the local system. If you want to know the installation and setting up of MongoDB, you can check out my previous video on MongoDB installation. I'll add a link in the description below. Stay tuned. MongoDB Compass is a GUI for viewing and creating databases. I assume you have installed this along with MongoDB as shown in the installation video. I'll just leave it open in the background and I'll open Mongo shell in which we'll be running our commands. To open the Mongo shell, we'll go to commands and type in Mongo. This will open up the Mongo shell. Let's clear the screen. For that, we type in CLS to clear the screen. Now to see the existing databases in MongoDB, we can type show DBS. This will give a list of all the existing databases in a MongoDB. To create a database or to use an existing database, you can use the command use dbname. Use and give a DB name. For this tutorial, I'm going to use a database called as store. So now I'm creating a database called as store. This will tell the Mongo shell to use the database if it is available or to create and use it. Now if you type show DBS to see the list of available databases, you can see our database is currently not showing in the list of databases. This is because we need to add a collection to our database. To know in which database we are currently in, we can just type in db command. When you type in db, the Mongo shell will show in which database you are currently in. So we are currently in store. Now let's create a collection in this current database. To do that, we'll type in db.create collection and give the name of the collection which we want. Grocery. This will create a collection in our database store. Now if you type show DBS, you can find that our database is currently there in the list of databases. Now if I want to add another collection to this, I can type db.create collection and give the name. This will create new collection in the existing database. Now to see the list of collections in an existing database, we can type show collection. Show collections. And this will give a list of all collections in our current database. Now let's add some data to this database. To insert data, we can type db.grocery.insert I'm giving a custom name, some items and some amount for the items. Amount. Let's insert one more data. You can just press the up arrow to get the last command or the previous commands. Now we have seen how to insert single records. Now if you want to insert multiple records simultaneously, you can do that by using the insert menu option. db.grocery dot we are giving this as an array, as you can see I'm adding an additional field over here. And close all the brackets. So all our 3 entries are entered. We can see that the additional field, even though it's entered only for 1, all the entries have been taken into our database. Now let's see our data in the collection. To do that, we can type in db.grocery.find. This will give a list of all the items in our collection. Note that the ID field is generated automatically even though we haven't specified an ID field. If you want to see the results in a better way, you can type in .pretty and the results will be in more readable way. Now if you want to remove an entry from this, we can use the command remove. Now say I want to remove this entry, so I give the customer name. It says the entry is removed. Now if you do find option again, you can see Tony has been removed from this list. Now I'm just going to add some more data to our collection. And close all the brackets. Items are inserted. Now let's see it using the find option. As you can see, our entries are added into the collection. Now instead of getting all the data, if you want to find just one output from our collection, we can use the find one command. This gives one entry from a collection. Now if you want to get the count of number of rows in our collection, we can use a count command, db.grocery.count. This will list the number of rows in our collection. This is very useful if the database is very huge and you want to find the number of entries in it. let's say we want to sort the list based on customer names. To do that, we'll sort it. We are sorting it by customer. We're giving a value of -1 to sort it by descending order. If you give +1, it will sort it in the ascending order. Dot pretty. So as you can see, we are sorting it by the customer name from Z all the way to A. Now if I do it ascending order, I just need to replace the -1 by 1. Then you can see it is sorted alphabetically from A to Z. So now let's try sorting it using amount. For that, I just change this customer field to amount. Now as you can see, the collection is sorted in ascending order by the amount. Now if you want to limit the number of rows being displayed, for example, we are seeing all the rows being displayed over here. If you want to see only the first 3 rows, we can set a limit for that. We can add dot limit and the number of rows which you want to see. In this case, I'm setting limit 3 to see the first 3 rows, and you get the first 3 rows. Now if you want to find the details of a particular customer from the database, we can do it as follows: db.grocery.find customer and the name of the customer whose detail we want to find, in this case Tony. And you get all the details of the customer Tony. If you want to get the names of all the customers in the database, find all the customers so the output shows the name of all the customers in the database. Now we can see that we get the customer name as well as the ID number. If we want to remove the ID number also from the list, we can do it by modifying the code as id equal to IDS 0. So this will give the name of all the customers. Now say we want to get the name of all the customers along with their amount. This returns us the details of all the customers and their amount. Now if you want to find all the items in the list except for the fresh food, we can use the not operator. Find items dollar not equal to, any stands for not equal to, fresh food, close all the brackets, or pretty. We can see that we get a list with all the items except for the fresh food. Now if you want to find all the entries whose amount is greater than a particular value, we can use the greater than operator. Amount, let's say greater than 7. Dollar greater than 7. So this gives the details of all the items who have an amount greater than 7. Now if you want to find greater than or equal to 7, you can just modify this to greater than or equal to. GTE stands for greater than or equal to. And now as you can see, 7 is also added to the list. Similarly, you can use a less than or equal to operator. LT stands for less than and LTE stands for less than or equal to. Let's say we want to modify an entry in the collection. I want to change this into cereal and grain. So what I do is, let's update this field. To update this field, this is the original data, and then the data we want to update. We can see that the result has been updated. To see the updated item, you can see it has been made separate. Now if you want to find the list of the distinct items in the collection, give the field in which you want to find the distinct items. Here I want to find the distinct items in the column item. So you can see everything is there only once except for this. This is because I have given this as a single entry. If you want to remove this, you have to split it as we did for this entry. Note that I am modifying the document for Anton, and here there's an entry called cache. I'm not entering here. We will see what the difference makes. Oops, nearly missed. The amount is 7. Amount is 7. So this is matched and updated. Now let's see what change does it make. I'm refreshing the Mongo compass, and as you can see, since I've not entered this field, it has been removed. So when you enter the update option, all the fields included in the collection should be there, else it might get overwritten. Now let's try to find the distinct items again. Now since you can see, instead of single string, we have separated the grain. There is only one grain in the list. If you want to do the same thing for these, you can separate these all. Now there's another method to update the fields individually. That is as follows. We are given the existing field, and now we are going to give the field which we want to set. We are using the set function. Set items. We'll provide it as an array as we done earlier. Close the brackets. Okay, got the error. Items inserted and now matched. Now we can see over here, since we have separated milk and egg, instead of a single string over here, it became 2 different strings. Now to exit from the program, you can just type in exit, and it will exit the Mongo shell. With that, we come to the end of the tutorial. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and hit the subscribe button and turn on bell notification so that you don't miss an update. See you in the next video.